Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Grind Podcast. If you don't know who we are a platform dedicated to inspiring young Kenyans to get up, focus, and run towards their dreams. Because who said you're too young, though? We don't believe you're too young to accomplish anything that you put your mind to. I'm your host, Cav, and we will be interviewing some of the most successful and youngest Kenyans out there doing it big, regardless of the economy, regardless of the time, and regardless of the environment that we live in. So we hope this inspires somebody sitting at home that wants to change their life, wants to be successful at a young age. So we hope you enjoy. Our next guest is a very special guest because he is not only changing the mindset of young Kenyans and changing their lives, but he is part of an amazing team that is creating a financial powerhouse in Kenya and across Africa. Their name is Fingo Africa, and he is the co-founder and co-CPO of the company. He's not only just Fingo, he has been working on creating businesses since he was 14 years old and has been making strides in creating solutions for as long as he can remember. He is a very good friend of mine, and I'm so happy to say welcome to the Grime Podcast, Gitari Tirima.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Great to be here.
Thank you for coming. Like, it is so inspiring to hear from young people, and especially you, because you're making strides in the financial and tech industry, and it's inspiring for probably somebody out there who wants to do the exact same thing. So I wanted to start off not with a business aspect, with a personal aspect.
Okay.
Who is Gitari Tirima? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes.
I think I'm still trying to figure that out, but
Okay.
what I know so far is Gitari means the one who brings healing. So,
That's so nice.
yeah, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through tech, whether it's through the friends I have, family, I feel like there's always a drive to heal people
Yes.
and to fix things. I like solving problems. Apart from, being a professional button pusher, yeah, I love music. Love music so much. I mean, my name's Gitari, so I do play the guitar. I don't think I had a choice. I love engineering, so cars and motorcycles. Been obsessed with them since I was a kid. I
Yes.
remember building engines with my dad in the winters, and yeah, and anime.
An anime.
And anime, guys.
I've never understood anime, guys. I don't know why. It's
It's
just maybe not my thing. But a lot of people enjoy anime. So you talked about being driven, and I can see that just by knowing you. I can see that is just something that really brings out your personality. How do you stay motivated? Because you have a lot of things going on. How do you stay motivated? What keeps you going every single day to wake up and accomplish what you need to accomplish during the day?
Yeah, I think for me, when I came back to Kenya, I didn't know much about kind of the way the African market works. And the more I discovered, just the more opportunity I saw. I mean, we have currently the youngest population in the world. And by 2050, we're going to overtake both China and India with the largest working class. And I feel like having that just opens up the world.
Yeah.
It's like the final frontier right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere else has kind of gone up and hit their decline or kind of kept steady, but Africa, we're just starting. We're
Yeah.
just waking up.
We
and
really are.
there's there's so much to do. So much to do.
So, since there's so much to do, you are the co-founder and co-CPO of a company that just recently got approved by the Central Bank of Kenya as the first digital-only bank. Wow. Sorry, you are what? 20 something.
Yeah.
Wow. If this is not an example of you can do what you put your mind to, I don't know what is. What is Fingo Africa, and what does it have to offer young people?
Yeah. So Fingo Africa is the last financial app you'll ever need.
Okay.
Coming into Kenya and like turning 18, starting my financial life. You go to your bank, they ask you for all these different forms and papers. You maybe miss a field or you miss a document. You ask, can I use your printer? They're like, no, go find somewhere else to do it.
Yeah.
They don't really treat you with the respect that, say, they would treat a corporate or a CEO or somebody older.
Yeah.
And everything that we do in our lives right now is already digital.
Yes.
So instead of going and opening my first current account so I can get my salary and pay my rent and all these things, and then later on I open a savings account, take the same documents, do that same process over again.
Yeah.
Then I want to start investing, have to look for a firm to do that, same process again, and building all those new relationships as well.
Yeah.
With Fingo, you just sign up, and in 5 minutes, you have your bank account, you got a savings account, an investment account, and soon a business account as well.
Wow.
Because, you know, we got to hustle. Everybody here is a hustler. And
for real.
we need the tools that'll make that easier and more possible.
Yeah. Be a grinder, guys. You could see that.
Get on your grind.
Get on your grind. What are your mission goals? What does Fingo have in line for the next 5 years?
Next 5 years.
Yes.
I'd say next 5 years we want to be in 33 markets.
33.
Yeah.
Dream big, baby. Dream big.
Have maybe 25 million to 50 million customers, both personal and business accounts.
Yeah.
And really just to be able to facilitate the wealth, the generation and growth of these young Africans who are just starting their financial journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, as much as we love money, we also fear it. But it should be working for you.
Exactly. Money should work for you. That is such a great perspective. That's a great understanding. I always think that money is terrifying. I'm always clenching, holding on to my money like I'm never gonna get money again. And money flows and grows with the times. And I always do my research and I always watch self-development podcasts, and they always tell you that you need to just start, like put money into things that will reap a reward. Just because you're starting a business and you think, okay, I'm gonna spend 10K on this business. What would you do with the rest of the 10? What if you did not use the 10K? What would you do with it? Honestly, if you didn't invest in your future, how did you start? Like, what are the things that helped you start? What are the things that got you there? What did you risk?
I think, like you said, I started at 14, which is very, very early. One of the first things, and I'm extremely and eternally will be grateful, is just a great support system, like a great family.
Yeah.
One day, just chilling during summer break, hanging out, playing video games, not really doing anything important. And the parents said, you know what? You guys need to do something for with your lives.
Yeah.
This stuff that you see you have now, this is ours.
Yeah.
You need to make something of your own.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we started. Just started that with a company called Something Inc. With my best friend and also another co-founder in the company called Ian. And we started off selling phone cases and like custom designed t-shirts and stuff. That was really just the first step. And since between then and now, I failed more times than I can count. So many different businesses and ideas that just, never really picked up. But the growth and the learning from those things, never get lost.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's where it is for me.
That's brilliant. And when I was going through my self-development journey, when I was listening to podcasts and motivational speeches, somebody actually said that, are you really taking a risk if you don't fail? Is it really a risk if you don't fail? Which is such a good perspective. And if you change the way you look at risk or look at failure, because you said you failed at so many things and you're still here, and now you just created probably the biggest fintech company in Africa
Hopefully.
and the world.
Hopefully.
We're taking over the world.
Man,
It's gonna
Finger
be
Africa I want it in England, I want it in
everywhere.
Japan. They have their banks here. Why can't we go over there?
Exactly. Period. Like, there's so much untapped potential in Kenya, and you're leading the way when it comes to finance and technology. Because this platform is not just about creatives and having people who own businesses in more of the creative field.
Yeah.
It's about people who are doing it in fields that you wouldn't think to even go into because you think it's maybe too hard. Like, this is the reason why we do this.
Yeah.
And to celebrate you as a 20-something company owner, founder, it's just brilliant. So I wanted to talk a bit more about you, and I want you to inspire some people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about starting a fintech company or a company in finance or technology? What are the few things that you did that have made it a lot more easy?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot I've learned. I mean, I learn every day.
Yeah.
Every day there's something new. Mm-hmm. But I think, I'm learning stuff every single day.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stuff that we've kind of gone through that I think has helped us understand the market and understand how to play this game a little bit better.
Yeah.
And just to start off, I'd say the first thing is having a great team. Like a fantastic team. The co-founders that I have, the people who we've hired, our investors, our other partners, those relationships and having that being cohesive will make the hard times a little less hard and the great times 10 times greater.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think learning and knowing what vertical you want to get into.
Okay.
Because the pie for finance is so huge in the African market.
Wow.
We have space for thousands of players. So it doesn't have to be a bank. Attaching your service to something that people use every day, integrating into something that's very common and used widely, or also going into niche markets and finding a group of people or a specific kind of situation where you can provide a service and real value and real ease. I think looking at that and looking at it that way is one of the ways that'll help you kind of get into that journey. And then find a problem that you actually have yourself. Something that you want to fix for yourself. Either for yourself or somebody very close to you. Because it's gonna be hard. If you don't remember why you're fighting and what you're fighting for, you're not gonna last very long. But if you have that in you deep down, every day you remember, oh, this is why I'm doing this. Then that relentlessness and that drive to push through.
Hunger, guys. The hunger.
It'll carry you, and if you beat your head against the wall enough, you're gonna break through it. You will. It will happen.
If you beat your head against the wall enough, you're gonna break through it. I like that.
Maybe a bit too violent, but
no, I like that. It shows the aggressiveness you need to have to break into a market or even start anything. You have to continue. Be relentless, guys. You fail and you succeed. And it's important to continue regardless of the failures, regardless of the problems that come in. In fact, how do you deal with issues? Because I remember earlier when he came in for the interview, he was doing his work on his laptop and he was like, I can't get this. How do you deal with situations like that? Because you're into coding, you're into tech, things are so, they have to be by. Like every millisecond, every tiny bit needs to be almost perfect for it to work.
Definitely.
How do you deal with the setbacks?
So I think just having a process and loving, I think one of the things that I learned was love the problem.
Ooh.
So don't start looking for solutions first, because actually every solution you create will create another problem. It might be bigger, might be smaller, but really love the problem. What is it that you're struggling with? Why is it happening? Where did it come from? And the more understanding you have of that issue, when you go to fix it and when you go to find your solution,
Yeah.
that context that you bring in will help. There's days I'll wake up and there's an issue and I'll just be like, let me fix it. And I'll spend 2 hours, 3 hours, when if I just kind of spent 45 minutes looking into where's this issue, who do I know who might know something about this, where have I seen resources about this going on, instead of just I have all the information in my head, I've been doing this for 10 years, I know what I'm doing. Just really wanting to process and understanding where you are. And then there's also a process called the 5 whys.
The 5 whys.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
So you have a problem. Ask why. Why did this happen?
Yes.
Okay. Why did that happen again?
Okay.
And you keep going down the list until you find the root of the problem. Because much like the Kenyan roads, what we like to do is just patch things over.
Exactly.
Just
it's like
patch it.
The most irritating thing. It's like two months from now, I'm still gonna have the biggest. It's probably even gonna be worse.
Bigger, yeah. It's gonna be a bigger pothole.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It'll grow, and then it gets to a point where it's unsustainable.
Yeah.
But if you actually take the time and just slow down. And find what's the root of this problem. How do we solve that so that cascade effect, that the domino effect doesn't happen again?
Yes. I love that because I was actually reading a book. I'm currently reading a book called The Power of Habits, and it's by Charles Duhigg, and he goes extensively into creating habits, and it's something called like keystone habits, and that's the base of it, something that gives a ripple effect and affects everything else. So he would talk about how safety in companies, or like companies that create like cement companies and stuff like that, how safety is probably the last thing somebody would think about going for, because maybe there's bigger and better problems that we need to deal with, but how this person changed safety, and in so doing he changed how many hours people work, because people would have to go back and take leave because they got hurt and stuff like that, and it made a ripple effect because now things were changing in the company. From the small little thing, the minute little thing that you never thought would help, actually created a ripple effect. And I love that. And what are you doing? What is your company doing, or yourself? What do you do every day, maybe first thing in the morning, that feels like a ripple effect, that gives you enough to continue on with the day, to be able to succeed and stuff? Or even with the company, like what is
I can do both.
Yes.
I can do both. So one thing that I do personally is I just go through my day. I have some quiet time and then I go through my day. It's like, what are my P1s, priority ones? And I try and keep like 3 of those. And then what are my P2s? And try and have like 2 or 3 of those as well. If I get my P1s done, successful day. It was a good day. Or if I'm having a really bad day, if I get 1 P1 done, at least.
Pat yourself on the back.
At least I've made a step towards progress. And then in the company and in Fingo, we have a morning meeting where we just sit down. And everybody has their kind of own responsibilities and their own metrics. And we pull up the dashboards, we pull up comments from CX, everyone, and we just say, where is it that we want to be? Where are we at now? And understand, why is this happening? What can we change to improve it? And are there any red zones? Is there anything that we need to be concerned about? Is there anything that we need to be very, very keen on? And that just sets up the rest of your day. It gives you context.
It does.
For the rest of your day. So you're not sitting there and thinking, well, what am I actually doing this for?
Exactly.
Because you know there's something that you're trying to push or improve or change. So those are kind of the 2 things that I try and do.
I like that. That's, wow. I feel like I'm learning something. You learn something new every day. I swear to God. Like, I've known him for a while now, and it's just amazing to like see how your mind works. It's unpicking it, guys. This is how you be successful. Now, I wanted to congratulate you because if you guys don't know what Y Combinator is, it is the biggest startup accelerator. He'll talk more about it, because I think he's better equipped to let you know. And they have a program, and it's only 2% of people. That's the acceptance rate. 2%. and you guys got in.
We did.
You got in.
On our second try.
On your still.
Yeah, we did.
Like, are you kidding me? You are about to be, hopefully, and they're about to invest a shit ton of money into you guys.
Oh, they already did. So, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, yes. Tell me more about the Y Combinator and the experience with it.
Yeah, so Y Combinator, companies like Airbnb, companies like Instacart, a bunch of these guys go through this, and what they do is they take you in, and they have partners who have all been founders before. So there's a lot of accelerators that are don't really have that founder aspect.
Yeah.
They're just kind of business people who are trying to push you to get things done in some way, blow up your valuation. But they take you through like this boot camp.
Okay.
And they give you access to so many people, so many emails, posts, questions, everything, and it's kind of like its own community. And what happens is you go through that progress, you go through the boot camp. They kind of teach you every day, help you set your metrics, and then you push hard. Like those 3 months, 4 months, we pushed so hard.
Oh, congratulations!
And so that was in summer 21. It was remote. Normally everybody goes down to SF, but the big bad COVID was still around.
Was looming.
Yeah, so we were like up at California time. So you're working during the day, then you have all your calls and all your meetings California time, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. But what I feel like it gives you is they just show you the mistakes that they've made and that most startups make. And that most people who are entering that industry make. And let me tell you, there are so many mistakes that are, once you learn the answer, you're just like, oh, that's so obvious. But until you go through it, and there's things that they've told us that we didn't listen to. And now,
you shoulda.
2 months later, 3 months later, even like later last year, we're just like, oh, damn.
Right, I
maybe
shoulda listened.
Yeah, maybe they had something there. And then after that, at the end of YC, you have something called Demo Day.
Okay.
So Demo Day, they bring in a group of a bunch of investors, like hundreds, even thousands of investors from like your big boys like Tiger Group, Sequoia, to just like angel investors, founders who've maybe exited their company, who've been through YC and all that. And what you do is you get to pitch. And after you're done pitching, they have like a way to then contact you, sit on call, and then they choose whether they want to invest in you or not. And luckily, I'd say, especially for fintech in Africa, 2021 was an irrational year. The markets were irrational. Didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
Just people's valuations were crazy high. People were raising stupid money off of genuinely like a pitch deck. But so that really just opened up my mind and exposed me, like I was telling you earlier. We had somebody in our batch whose cameras are in space right now, taking photos of the Earth. And
incredible.
You get to speak to them. You get to speak to all these different people doing different things. And learning how they work that out, how they think, how they run their company. And I think that's really the network effect of Y Combinator. That's where the power lies.
So they gave you what? So they invested in you?
Yeah. So to get into YC, they have a set amount that they invest and take a set percentage of your company.
Okay.
Like a hedge. They're saying, we believe in you. So we're gonna give you this cash, and we're gonna take a little bit of equity, and let's hope that you guys blow up. And they're very real. They don't beat around the bush. They don't give you nice things. I remember there was a time we were trying to wrap up our pitch deck for Demo Day.
Okay.
And this is like 2 a.m. We had office hours with a guy called Michael Seibel.
Okay.
And if you want to start a startup, if you want to run a business, go to the Y Combinator YouTube. Anything with Michael Seibel's name, watch it. Watch all of it.
All of it.
All of it. I don't care how long it takes you. Watch all of it. It is
worth
gold. As in the fact that they give that information away for free is crazy. But we're on the phone with Michael Seibel. It's like 2 a.m. Our pitch deck was still a little rough. Our Wi-Fi was deciding to do whatever it does, that Zuku life. And he's just like, co-founders, help your CEO. Don't you know how to get your colors right? Blah, blah, blah. I couldn't even go back to bed after. I was pissed.
Wow.
I just said, all right, bro. I worked until the morning.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of the time, it's so easy to be positive, be happy, be like, "Oh, everything is great."
Yeah.
But that friction and that idea that until you're not dying, until your company's not dying, your
There's
company's
still-
dead.
Wow.
Like, they tell you, you are dead, company's walking.
Wow.
And most of the YC startups don't make it past 5 years,
Yeah.
even like 3 years.
Yeah.
So having that mentality and having that understanding that, yeah, things might be going great, but like if I prepare for the worst and expect the worst, when anything good happens, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'm more pumped than I've ever been.
Yeah.
But when things go wrong, and they always will go wrong,
Shit happens, guys.
you're not
It
surprised.
happens. Yeah. You're ready.
Yeah, you're ready.
You're ready to be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
That failed, but let's
What's
continue
next?
going.
Yeah, so
That's incredible.
one of the founders who we talked to had a great saying. He was like, you can't stop the fires before they happen. Fires will happen.
It will happen regardless.
Some fires you're going to actually even have to let burn. But the issue is, if you don't know how to put out that fire, then you're screwed.
Wow.
But the fires will come.
They will.
Just make sure you know how to put them out.
I'm so wow. I know I'm doing all of that, but that's serious.
Yeah, so that's, the Y Combinator experience. Anybody who's looking to get into YC, there's so many resources there. It is definitely worth it. Like I said, we didn't get in on our first try. We had to go. The first time we tried, no response, no nothing. The second time, it was mind-blowing that we did it. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is true testament of work hard and just keep at it. It doesn't matter whether you fail. There's still potential to succeed if you keep trying. Now, I wanted to talk a bit about your investors.
okay.
And okay, so you talked about Y Combinator and how you had the ability to talk to investors and stuff like that. Did they come off that, or did you do more research and do your own personal finding
Yeah,
into
definitely.
like investors?
Definitely. So I'd say, like, when you're starting up your company, and when we started up our company, you have your pre-seed, your seed, and then your Series A, B, C.
Yes.
IPO as well. Hopefully coming in a couple years. But yeah, when we're doing our pre-seed, that was really just small angels, people who we'd known from the industry, people who'd mentored us,
Your connections.
your network, friends, family. Like that's honestly the best way to start.
Yeah.
Get people who are gonna be patient with you, people who understand like what you're doing is hard.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is gonna take time, and you're gonna make mistakes and like figure that process out, and not be predatory.
Yeah.
Towards you, because investors, once you get into your VCs and your private equity firms, they can be sharks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was what we did for our pre-seed. Then our seed, which we did at demo day. Now you've kind of already built something up. You've gone some sort of distance. You've proven you have your proof of concept.
Yes.
And you've proven some of the initial assumptions that you had,
Yeah.
or you've changed them and pivoted to fit something that now makes more sense.
Okay.
And that's when we went now towards the VCs, the venture capitalists.
Yes.
And those are guys who are like, that's their business. They have money burning holes in their pocket, and they need to give it
Give it
away.
to someone,
yeah,
yeah.
they have to give it up. So there now you're really looking at what's the value of my business, what's the time, and I think we got really, really good investors to start off. We have a lot of them are from the US.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of hold their hand and bring them into this context, because it is so different
Yeah.
from the European or the American
African market.
and
yeah.
like even the African market itself, you have to segment it into, got Nigeria, we have like East Africa, North Africa, completely different, Francophone Africa, like everything has its own context.
Yes.
So we got a lot of investors from the US. That was great. We did definitely keep some space open for local investors as well.
Yeah.
Because that those connections and those relationships, like when you're on the ground, you need some people who can pull out the big guns and help you out.
Yeah.
So, and definitely when it comes to looking for investors, I'd say try and find somebody who's invested in the type of companies that you have.
Yeah.
And somebody who's really there to actually help you and push you, get you into rooms that you need to be in, get you resources that you need to get, help you find even talent. Like a lot of the guys send us talent. They send us, all these different resources.
Yeah.
So they're really your kind of booster.
Yeah.
They're meant to push you.
Yeah.
But do be careful. Some of them are sharks, and at the end of the day, they're running a business. So if you're not growing and winning, the faster you die, the faster they make their money back. Wow. So, yeah. And
oh my God.
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's just crazy. All right. So you just told me something, and I had to ask the question because they need to know. Where did you start? How did you start with Fingo Africa?
That's a great question. So before we joined and hopped on the Fingo team, it wasn't even called Fingo at the time.
Really?
Ian and I were doing an ad tech company.
Okay.
So with all the other past failures upwards, one of the issues we had was how do we advertise our business? And we built some tech, had some good deals with a telco and a bank, and it was about out-of-home advertising and making that accessible to smaller businesses.
Yeah.
And then the big bad COVID came in. Nobody's outside. All the deals died. And Kiru, who had been working at Acorn for a while and launched actually Kenya's first bond. Acorn are the guys who built like Kwetu and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Said, okay, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to go start my own thing.
Yeah.
And he knew that Ian and I had been doing tech for quite a while, and he had been kind of stewing and figuring this out. So he said, as a part-time gig, do you guys want to come and like help me build this MVP, which is minimum viable product? What's like the most basic low-level thing that you can do to prove this idea or these assumptions that you have?
Okay.
And we're like, hey, yeah, the ad tech thing kind of fell through. There's not much going on there. Yeah, we'll come on. And as soon as we started getting more and more into it, looking at different ideas, different pathways, we kind of settled on the neobank, which is the fully digital bank.
Yeah.
We had like a session where it's like everybody write down names for 5 minutes, best one wins. And
you did it.
That's how it worked.
I love that.
And then we spent like the last quarter of, 2020, just every day somebody's going to one of our parents' houses, sitting down and just plugging out for hours trying to build the MVP. Kiru was like just building connections and getting the word out and trying to testing the waters with the ideas. And after we kind of really settled on what we wanted to do, Ian and I locked ourselves away for like 30 days and built the MVP. Which was that code somewhere exists. I'm horrified to even think about it now. And just put it in people's hands.
Yeah.
Just like, let's just see. Will they use it?
Yeah.
Do they like it?
Yeah.
And it was extremely positive. Extremely positive. So we said, okay, this is something that we could do.
Yes.
This is something we're gonna do now.
Yeah.
Because
we're locked and loaded, baby. We locked and loaded.
if this small subset of people like it, and we're gonna have over 500 million youth in Africa in the next 30 years.
Yep.
This is something that can really change a lot of lives and make significant progress in the way Africans and the way this continent interacts with their money. So that's how we started it off.
That's incredible. Because there is, as we always say, there's so much potential in Africa. I mean, we are the gold mine, guys.
We are.
And we're so taken for granted. and we just sit in that when there's so much potential in the youth, especially, to change lives and change the next generations to come. What is the one thing that you would say is the best part of creating a fintech company?
Ooh. I think for me, the best part is hearing the users' stories. Hearing people who have taken this like baby that we've all created and interacted with it.
Yeah.
Good or bad, that's the thing. Like Kenyans on Twitter, and you all know this, is rough. It is rough.
Brutal.
Yeah, but like we have a savings feature in the app.
Yes.
And one of the things that we did is we allow the user to take a photo from the camera roll and set it as an icon. And somebody who I was talking to was like, actually, this helped me save for my son's birthday because I put the picture as him.
Yeah.
So anytime I open the app and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna actually put that money aside and invest in that, and I just said yes. That's
what this is about.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Somebody who like went to banks and has had horrible experiences getting the app and signing up in 5 minutes and like starting to transact, and you're just like, oh dude, I can send to my friends if they're on Fingo for free, or I can actually do all my M-Pesa payments from one place, or like that value that they're getting off of it.
Yeah.
That's what really inspires me a lot.
You know, every time I ask that question or a guest answers that question, I'm always so shocked because you expect them to say more like getting it up and running, or more, yes, making money from it and stuff like that. But everybody that I've talked to, every one of our guests so far, has been so humbling and actually appreciates what value that they give to their customer or their demographic or their target audience, rather than the money they get in their pocket. And that's a good place to start when you're trying to be successful. Find something that's going to change lives rather than change your pocket.
Yeah. Hey, but don't go starving.
No, exactly.
Don't go starving, bro.
Of course not. It has to give you something.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat.
But it's just the fact that I listened to a lot of these motivational speeches, and somebody was like, what is your why? Like, why are you doing this? You are more likely to succeed if you're looking to solve a problem for somebody than looking to line your pockets with a lot of money. And I can just see that in all young successful people that I'm interviewing and I'm talking to, and it's inspiring.
It's lovely.
It's really inspiring. Now, if you had maybe 2 months to just do anything you wanted to do personally, I don't know where I'm going with this question, but you know what, we gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
2 months to do anything that could benefit somebody, what would it be?
What's my budget?
You have no budget.
Unlimited budget?
And no, you have absolutely no budget.
Okay. No budget?
No budget.
To be honest, I would just go out and talk to people and hear them out. Like, actually share experiences and figure out what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the most, like, highest forms of being a human is to be known.
Yeah.
Like, and actually not this superficial bull that we do on Instagram or Snapchat.
I'm an influencer.
Yeah, where you're showing people your highlight reel, but
exactly.
like, who are you actually?
Yes.
What are you thinking about? What are you struggling with? And I think sharing that with people and having them share with you helps you discover so much about yourself and about other people, and it gives you a lot more grace. A lot more mercy, and I think that is what if I had 2 months, I would spend my 2 months doing that.
Just talking to people,
getting
knowledge
to know them.
Knowledge is power.
Indeed it is.
Learn every single day, guys. I'm telling you, I get on this podcast, I talk to these amazing young successful people, and every single time I learn something I never knew before. Which is so fantastic. And this is what this platform is about, is to inspire young people and hear from young people who everybody has a different perspective.
That's true.
Everybody learns differently. Everybody internalizes knowledge differently. Everybody finds, like, I know if I research something and you research the exact same thing, you're gonna have
So different.
something completely different
So
to what I
different.
have. Maybe I didn't do as much research, or I found different websites, or I found this, or I internalized this differently to you.
Yeah.
And it's the connections that you make, it's the relationships that you make, the conversations you make. What is the one thing that you do every day to nurture relationships?
Ooh, that's really good. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships, man, are hard. Whether it's
They
with your friends, your family, your coworkers,
Exactly.
your SO, your significant other, they're just
Mm-hmm.
very difficult. And I think for me, being intentional
Yeah.
about really understanding what that person is going through, where they're at,
Yeah.
and just listening. So I am a slave to my Google Calendar. If it's not in my Google Calendar, it's not happening.
not
It doesn't
happening.
exist.
Yeah.
This was in my Google Calendar with like 5 alerts from 2 weeks ago. Like always like keep remember. So I try and with my friends and family, I try and put a little task. If I'm on my lunch break or I'm like wrapping up for the evening, just call someone.
Yeah.
Just call someone and
Check
chat to them.
in, yeah.
Just see what's up, like what's going on in their lives.
Yeah.
With coworkers and people who I work with, having one-on-ones regularly,
Yeah.
consistently,
Yeah.
and looking at, okay, what's good, what's meh, what's bad,
Yeah.
what's
What can we improve on?
yeah, what can we improve on? The last time we spoke, what were you trying to accomplish? Where were
Yeah.
you trying to go?
Yeah.
What progress have we made?
Yes.
And on my end, like, what is it that I can do to help facilitate that?
Yeah.
And I think just going at it that way is kind of what I do to try and kind of nurture those relationships.
Yeah.
But it's hard, man.
It's hard. Nothing is easy, honestly, in this world. Nothing is easy in life.
It shouldn't be.
Imagine if
If
it
it
was
was
easy.
easy, like-
Everyone would be rich. Everyone would be successful.
I feel like everybody would be doing nothing.
True.
It'd just be like, why
Okay,
try? If
exactly.
everybody can do it,
Why bother?
why bother?
You realize it's always the people who are strongest, the people who understand, that get there, that make it past the person who doesn't. The person who researches, the person who doesn't give up, the person who looks at it from a different perspective, because you can create your own lane, yes, but there's so much that has been done in this
Oh,
world.
yeah.
So much.
Oh, yeah.
And if you say, okay, no, I'm gonna wait until I can do something else, because there's so many fintech companies in the world.
So many.
But
like,
you guys,
every day there's popping up.
Literally. But you guys said, okay, there's this avenue, there's this niche. How can we make it different to other things or other fintech companies?
Yeah.
And it's inspiring that you did that. And what is the effect, the ripple effect that you want to have for young people, specifically Africans,
Yeah.
on
I
this
think
content?
there's when we're younger and doing all these different, like, we've done so much random stuff,
I love that though.
and we kind of figured out like 3 key areas or
Yes.
4 key areas that we want to make a difference in, and I want to make a difference in.
Yeah.
And that's obviously finance, how we interact with our money, education. The way we learn is imperative to what you'll have 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
It really does form and shape the world that you're going to end up seeing. Healthcare, and energy. So we tried to do stuff in education. I'm not an educator. I
Yeah.
don't have a degree. I dropped out, so so they didn't take me seriously. Trying to do energy, which hopefully I'll get to do after this, just takes way more money than my brain could even imagine.
Yeah.
Healthcare, there's actually a lot of really great startups that are doing healthcare stuff right now, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But finance was like the first point where you can enter with low barriers to
Yeah.
entry.
Exactly.
And that's the first step. If we can solve that, or at least give some sort of value or change and paradigm shift in that, then we can start moving on and tackling the things that
Yeah.
you kind of need a little bit more clout and muscle to do. So
Oh, wow. I'm so shocked every single time you open your mouth. It's just insane. And I really hope, and I'm really rooting for you to be able to achieve everything because you deserve it, and you've got the right mindset you've got the right things in your mind. I wanted to hear a bit about your story because I do know it because Rumpy told me a bit about your story. What made you say, no, I might be 14 years old.
yeah.
I might be a kid, but I can do it. Regardless of, I mean, there must have been that hunger to do something. Of course, you need to be
100%.
hungry.
100%.
But what is it? What? Okay, maybe let me ask it this way: What was your life-changing moment?
What was my life-changing moment?
Yes,
Ooh, that's a hard. I feel like I have life-changing moments so
like often.
consistently. Yeah, like there's so many things that happen and it's only in retrospect that
Yeah.
you can be like, whoa, if that did not happen,
I wouldn't be here today.
I wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But I think, especially when we were getting started, it was just that push, like that kick, because I've always been interested in technology and in science and like engineering.
Yeah.
Like I'm also the biggest F1 nerd. I could talk
I
to
know.
you guys for hours and hours.
Very
And
aware of that.
all those things just are people that decided we're actually gonna just wake up and do something. We're
And do
gonna
it.
try something.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to be brought up in an environment where I never really had to doubt that. And then the parents giving me the kick of do something
Go
with your
ahead,
life. Like
yeah.
why not try?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not try? Yeah.
And from there it was just like, okay, I'll try. Oh, that didn't work out. But I actually met this person. I learned about this thing. I developed this skill. Okay,
Let me try again.
let me try something else. Damn, that was really, really hard. And it
Yeah.
really don't have anything tangible to show from it.
Yeah.
But I
learned
now know
something.
this.
Yeah.
I now know these people. I know I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
And that process and that progress of just consistently being relentless. And that's, I think, from where it started to where we are now.
Yeah.
Like I look back at that, it's been nearly 10 years. It's been a freaking decade almost.
Yeah.
I'm in shock because it's like, wow,
What?
it's really been that long, and I feel like I feel like I'm still in the kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Like not even getting
Just
anywhere.
The surface.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not
scratching
even-
the surface.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, if you focus on just every day, what's that small thing that I can just do?
Yeah.
Because like, how do you eat an elephant?
In
Piece
pints,
by piece.
beads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you try and look at the entire elephant, you're gonna go
Yeah.
get stuck.
Yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have that and fight that all the time.
Yeah.
Just that procrastination, where you're like, if I want to do it, it needs to be fantastic. It needs to be perfect.
Perfect.
And I need to get it done yesterday.
Yeah.
I should have had it done before I was born.
Yeah.
Type of idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna lock yourself up.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I want to bank 500 million youth. Where
we
do I
gonna
start?
do? Exactly.
Yeah. Build a rinky-dinky app that you threw together with your boy in 30 days and put it in people's hands and see what
And
they
see
think.
what happens. If it doesn't move on, continue. Try
Yeah.
again.
Find something else or
Yeah.
iterate or pivot. Change your direction. But
Yeah.
it just starts like there.
Yeah.
Because that's what I knew how to do. That's what I had the capacity to do.
Yeah.
And then, okay, that worked. What's that next step? Oh, now we need to actually tighten things up. We need to add these products. We need to have this kind of design language and flow.
Yeah.
And then you just start to learn those things and engage more.
Knowledge is power for real.
Knowledge is power. It's also pain.
It is.
Some things you ain't gotta know, man.
Yeah. But look, it makes you a stronger and better person.
Indeed.
In the process.
Indeed.
Wow. Okay. So since you are such a, wow, yeah, what do you do to relax?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I ride motorcycles, go places, hang out with my family,
Yeah.
watch anime,
Mm-hmm.
um, watch F1.
A lot.
Yeah, read, man. Don't know. Not only like the reading the self-help books is
Yeah.
extremely important.
Yeah.
But also I love sci-fi. So like last year, after the Dune movie came out,
Yeah.
was that last year or 2021? 2021,
Can't
I
even
think.
ask me. I don't know.
I read all the Dune books, just crazy series, awesome. So much I learned actually just from that. And then love music, man. Playing music, going to live shows.
Yeah.
Making diss albums with the family about other family members and stuff. Just
You didn't get in trouble with that.
no. It was all
They love you,
polite.
they
It was
support.
polite enough. It was
Yeah.
polite enough.
They can see where you're going.
Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, I think just really enjoying my time with and sharing that time with people,
Yeah.
as well as spending some time alone to just think about things, travel a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is so, I gotta be on it, gotta be on it, gotta be on it.
Oh, dude.
And forget to enjoy life, because life is to be enjoyed as well. I mean, I would say some Kenyans do it way too much, because you've got nothing to show other than the enjoyment of life. I'm sorry
Sherehe
if
lifestyle.
really,
But-
I'm sorry if I
Yeah.
added you, but
Nah.
I think people forget to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, there has to be a balance.
There has to be a balance.
I mean, are seasons, and I will say there are seasons where you just have to get stuck in. Like
Yeah.
2021, we did not go anywhere.
Anywhere.
Like it's a Friday night at 2 a.m. and guys are behind the screen.
Literally.
Like every Friday for months.
Yeah.
But then you realize also life has to be sustainable. There's thing you can't just work 24/7 365
Exactly.
and not you'll be successful
burnout.
monetarily, but where's your heart, like where's your feeling,
Yeah.
where are the relationships with the people who actually care about you
Yeah.
and you care about?
Yeah.
That's you've lost the plot at that
Yeah.
point.
Then life is just gonna be so much like duller.
Yeah.
People always say that's why you find the wealthiest people are probably the saddest people
Oh, yeah.
and the most unhappy people,
Definitely.
because you find all these kids on the begging and stuff like that, but they're so much more happy than you are. Somebody who has been born into wealth, somebody who has now just focused on building their financial gains and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they're not happy. But you see people who are in the lowest position they could possibly be in, but they enjoy every single tiny moment of life.
And that's the thing, man. The more money you make, the harder it is to be in touch with reality. I feel like,
Yeah.
and if you're not, you have to be very careful, like very careful. Also, they did the math. After a certain point in like wealth,
Yeah.
the lifestyle difference that you have is so minuscule.
Yeah.
Like you can only visit so many houses in the
Yeah.
year. You can only drive so many
many
cars.
cars.
Like it's not adding value per se to your life.
Yeah.
So just keeping that cognitive kind of or trying to avoid that dissonance
Yeah.
of where you start living in your own bubble. It's and because things can go on there, and then you come out and it's not what you thought
At all.
yeah, and you can't relate to the people who you care about or
Yeah.
anyone really.
You've lost that relationship.
Yeah, you've lost the ability to actually connect with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so be as successful as you can. Make sure that definition of success, it includes the relationships, the enjoying of life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying going on a binge drinking for like a week, but
no, there's more to life.
yeah, but like go somewhere with your friends, man. Leave Nairobi. Get
Honestly.
out. The clubs do not miss you.
Exactly. And they'll be back. They'll be there when you come back.
They're
They're not
there.
going nowhere. I need
Help
to,
people out as well. Like spend time with people who you don't know and help them out.
Yeah.
Because there's something that you have that somebody else can use.
Yes.
Yeah, and
They
and
need.
benefit from.
Yeah. Oh wow. All right. We are now onto our quick fire question segment where you get a question and you have 5 seconds to answer it. Do not think about it. Just go with the first answer, just so we can pick your brain and see what comes out first. Yeah, you ready?
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a try. Let's give it
Okay.
a try.
Yeah. All right. So the first question I have for you is, since we're gonna play off what you just said in the last question.
Yeah.
What does success mean to you? What's your definition of success?
My definition of success is having healthy relationships with the people who I spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Being able to provide not only for myself but
Yeah.
for my family and the people who are random people who are in need to some degree.
Yeah.
And also having, my toys, my cars and bikes. I love them. So
I love the way you said your toys. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, next. What is the worst advice you have ever been given?
ooh, worst advice I've ever been given. Sell me your shares on secondary so you can buy my old Mercedes Benz. I didn't follow it.
Yeah.
I was tempted to though. The S Class is sweet. But yeah.
That's the worst advice you've been given.
I mean, I probably can find more, but this is
Yeah.
quick fire.
I like that. Okay. Okay. What no. How do you deal with success and how do you deal with failure?
Dealing with success, I try and always remember that it's not me that got here alone. I mean,
Yeah.
I did have a lot of effort that I put into it, but there's so many factors that were beyond my control that let me get to where I am.
Yeah.
So being grateful,
Grateful.
trying to be as humble as possible
Yeah.
about that and share that.
Yeah.
With failure, we have a kind of saying with my boys, just throw shit at the wall until something sticks. Because at this age, like, there's so much energy that you have. Your brain is still a little bit spongy. There's so many things you can absorb. So just keep throwing the shit at the wall. Something is bound to stick.
Something is bound to stick. Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Now, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice I've ever been given. The most important thing in life is relationships. Be more intentional about those than anything else.
Okay.
The relationship with the people around you, the relationship with yourself.
Yes.
For me, my relationship with God as well.
Me too.
There
I
you
like that. I like that. Okay. Now, final question. If you could change one thing about Kenya that can help young people thrive and be successful, what would that be?
Damn.
One thing.
One thing?
One thing.
One thing.
Yeah.
I would change the education system, to be honest.
What about it?
We had a really good thing going when we attempted to do the change in curriculum
Yeah.
to less cram-based and more actually critical thinking and learning,
Yeah.
asking questions, challenging the reasoning behind things.
Yeah.
I think that's a future play, but if we can change that. I mean, if you look at our parents' generation
Yeah.
and the quality of education that they had, Nairobi University lecturers were swapping out with Oxford lecturers. Like, it was scenes.
Whoa.
Like, the people and the access to information and knowledge that you had and the quality of that
Yeah.
was insane. And that's why you see a lot of the people from that generation who went through uni,
Yeah.
most of them are doing crazy things. Like, you
yeah.
can look at any company that's really successful, you'll probably find a Kenyan in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that's a really big play. And I mean, both my parents are educators and been in that academic system, so I grew up
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
That's what I guess I understand to some degree.
Wow. Hopefully we can do that.
We
Hopefully
have to.
your next
have to.
project after Fingo has dominated the world, your next project can be on education and changing curriculum. I believe that you can do it.
There's already
Hear
a
it.
lot of great players as well here
Exactly.
right now who are
You see?
doing the thing.
Yeah.
So
So props to them, but props to you.
Thank you.
All right. So that's it we have for you guys today. Before we leave, I would love to ask you if you want to shout out yourself, shout out anything, shout out Fingo Africa. Maybe let them know where they can find you, just so that they can continue to walk with you on your journey of success, and just so that they can see you as you grow, because you're literally fantastic and some people need some help, and that's what we're here for. So if you have anything else you want to say, last few words before we close this off.
Okay.
Yes.
Before I get to the shout outs, I just want to say thank you so much for calling me and having me on.
Yes.
This is really dope what you're doing, and I hope that it grows beyond your wildest dreams.
Me too.
Yeah, guys, Fingo Africa, it's available on the Play Store, it's available on the App Store. Get it now. Download it. Just make sure you have like your ID or your passport when you sign up. And in 5 minutes, we'll get you a bank account where you can send to your friends on Fingo for free, pay all your bills, do all your M-Pesa payments, and send money around. And no more waiting in queues, no more paperwork, no more annoying bank managers until people. Yeah, just get on that and give us feedback. Like, let's make this the best financial app for you. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to, all the homies who have been on this journey, the co-founders that we have, the team that we have, which is honestly world-class team, one of the best I've ever seen. Shout out to God for, sending those angels and protecting me on this way, because some of y'all know I shouldn't be here right now. Yeah.
Shout out to him, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
And shout out to you.
Shout out to
you are an amazing person with big dreams, and you've got this.
Thank you.
Guys, testament to how you can be successful at a young age, and don't let anybody tell you no, and don't let failure tell you no.
You've only failed when you quit, bruv.
Period. Your takeaway for today is, who are you trying to reach? Who is your target audience? Whether you're starting a business, or you want to be a CEO, or you just want to work at an office. Think about that and let us know in the comments below who you are trying to reach and what your target audience is.
Catch you guys later.
Bye, out grinders.